storms hammered a path through Davidson County in quick succession Thursday morning, while rain began Wednesday evening. A powerful storm system, including one cell responsible for a tornado in rural Selmer, Tennessee, first hit Nashville around 2:45 a.m. Tornado warnings soon gave way to flash flooding concerns, which will continue through the weekend as Nashville prepares for even more rain starting Thursday evening. Several pockets of the city have endured more than 5 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. The rainfall has brought dangerous currents to swollen creeks and streams. City emergency services have responded to multiple calls for water rescue and stranded vehicles. The National Weather Service's most recent flash flood warning remained in effect Thursday through 2:45 p.m. The line of storms cut northeast, entering Davidson County near Bellevue and exiting the county past Opry Mills. Areas including Belle Meade, Forest Hills, Berry Hill, South Nashville, and Donelson saw between 5 and 6 inches of rain, the city's highest totals. Richland Creek crested around 11 a.m. on Thursday. Over a dozen water rescues took place in Nashville, Tennessee, as heavy rain continues to impact the Mid-South and Lower Ohio Valley. Video just outside Trevecca Nazarene University shows first responders approaching a partially submerged vehicle and assisting the driver as he crawls out of a window and onto a raft. The Nashville Fire Department Special Operations Division responded to 15 water-related calls from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. local time. All rescues that were performed were successful and there were no injuries reported, NFD said. The fire department shared video on X of flooding just a few blocks from the university and encouraged residents to avoid flooded roads and watch out for downed trees and debris. At least 4 people are dead in Tennessee, state and local officials confirmed. Now that the initial severe weather threat has passed for Thursday morning, the biggest issue is flooding, which has stalled vehicles on Interstate 65 and caused at least one crash on Interstate 40. It's expected to be an active couple of days of severe weather. While West Tennessee is expected to bear the brunt of these storms, Middle Tennessee can expect significant rain, flash flooding, large hail, straight-line winds, and possible tornadoes. Rain is expected to continue through the weekend, with much of the region still under a flood watch until Sunday. The highest rainfall amounts are expected in the northwest, with current forecasts predicting 6 to 8 inches. The Weather Service said that Stewart and Montgomery counties are at the most significant risk of flooding. People living around the Nashville metro area reported flash flooding on residential roads, in neighborhoods, and around shopping centers. The National Weather Service said rivers most likely to see rising waters include the Cumberland River, the Red River, the Duck River, and the Buffalo River. River flooding across Middle Tennessee is likely to peak Friday through Tuesday, said the Weather Service, with levels receding thereafter. As flash flooding continues to be a risk in both rural and metro areas, the Weather Service continues to caution people not to take this event lightly. This is a catastrophic, potentially historic heavy rainfall and flash flood event, the National Weather Service said in a forecast, adding that people should prepare for severe disruptions to daily life. Murfreesboro Pike has reopened to traffic south of downtown Nashville after it was closed Thursday morning due to flooding.
Oh my gosh, the way.
Murfreesboro Pike closed near Foster Avenue and near Lester Avenue around 5 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
One car was submerged by Foster Avenue, but at least 5 vehicles went underwater near Lester Avenue. All motorists and occupants were able to escape their flooded vehicles and no injuries were reported.
No, stay here.
The portion of Murfreesboro Pike near Lester Avenue reopened around 7 a.m. but had re-flooded by 9:30. A motorist was trapped in their vehicle and was rescued by the Nashville Fire Department. The roadway has since fully reopened. The Metro Nashville Department of Emergency Communications processed more than 1,700 calls for service during severe storms in the area, 79 of which were for flooding, water rescue situations, and rescue and evacuation operations. 112 calls involved reports of lines down, hazards, and/or debris blocking roads. The Nashville Fire Department's swift water rescue teams pulled multiple people from flood waters in the metro area. We had creeks get outside of the banks, or we had low-lying areas that had a lot of ponding, District Chief of Special Operations for the Nashville Fire Department, Kenneth Carruthers, said. Some cars tried to get through them and didn't have any success, so we had some rescues that way. We had some elderly victims that were trapped inside of their house with the rising water, so we would take a boat in and assist them out to dry ground and make sure they had somewhere safe to go. Carruthers said he and his team were prepared for the coming weather and continue to be ready to respond to whatever comes next. Flood waters in many areas have subsided over the course of the day Thursday, but flooding threats continue as more severe weather makes its way through Middle Tennessee. Meanwhile, heavy rain swelled a normally quiet creek along Woodmont Lane on Wednesday, leaving behind damaged fences, flooded homes, and a dramatic water rescue. As floodwaters surged to the front steps of some homes and inside of others Thursday morning, a pickup truck trying to turn around in an intersection was carried into a ditch in a home's front yard. Tim Bailey, who was driving the vehicle, said the 15 inches of water made stopping impossible. "It just didn't stop when I applied the brakes," Bailey said. "I just kind of felt foolish getting the truck stuck." Emergency crews arrived quickly and rescued Bailey and his wife, using inflatable rafts to pull them to safety. "They brought a little rubber boat out, and we paddled across this lady's front yard," Bailey said. "I didn't expect to go boating on a day like this." Just next door, the Hudson family worked to pump water out of their flooded basement. Inches of rainwater had seeped inside overnight, leaving them scrambling to salvage what belongings were down there. "We felt pretty helpless this morning, honestly," homeowner Maddie Hudson said. "We have a little one and a dog, and all my husband and I could do was watch all this rushing water. We kind of frantically tried to move things upstairs, just to do something." The Hudson family moved into the home just 3 weeks ago. Hudson said they were required to get flood insurance. Sugartree Creek runs right through the area and is known to swell. In fact, for many in the neighborhood, the flooding brought back painful memories of the devastating May 2010 floods. While some flooding is expected in this area, longtime residents said this level of destruction is concerning. "Definitely an all too familiar feeling, like 2010, Hudson said. With more rain in the forecast, neighbors say they are calling on city officials to address the area's chronic flooding issues before the next storm strikes. "It's really not a matter of if, it's when this happens again," Hudson said. "It's just going to continue." As they wait for answers, residents are using the dry hours to clean up and prepare for whatever comes next.